My name is Evelyn Michelle Belt, and my new student dialogue was on socioeconomic status. Um, I really feel like my group achieved true dialogue because not only did our peer leaders just talk about the subject, they were very good to include us and wanted to hear our opinions and how we felt about certain socioeconomic status and the misconceptions and preconceived notions that come with different socioeconomic statuses. Um, the observations I made were the dynamics of our group were really equal. I felt like everyone was really appreciative and respectful of each other's comments, and that um, people seemed to get along really well together, and no one really seemed to be judging anyone based on what their socioeconomic status was or based on the ideas that they had about another socioeconomic status. Um, I feel like the voices in our dialogue were very active. No one seemed too afraid to share anything or like they were scared or worried about being judged. Everyone just seemed really comfortable with each other, which is not something you get very often out of a group of random strangers. Um, I didn't really find any reserved voices. I mean, there were a few people who didn't share as much as others, but it wasn't anything like there was a group over here that sat silently and didn't participate, and there was a group over here who carried the whole dialogue. We all worked together very well to achieve our goals of breaking down the socioeconomic status barriers at Clemson. In my group, I would say that I was middle class to upper middle class socioeconomic status, and I talk a lot, so I was very verbal in our group. I think that the new student dialogues are an important component of Library 100 because it gives you new perspective as you're coming into Clemson, you're coming into the university, and many people are coming in to South Carolina as a state for the first time, and it really gives them and gives us as students here at Clemson a new view on different issues that are going around and most of them are hot button issues that people don't like to talk about. People don't like to talk about money. People don't like to, talk about how little they have or how much they have and things like that. It's just not something that people really talk about. It's kind of rude to talk about. At least that's how I was raised with, it's rude to talk about money. That's something that you keep to yourself and with your family. But I really do think that the socioeconomic status dialogue was very important, and I will definitely use it in my time here at Clemson. I also think that the new student dialogue is great to kind of break down social barriers. A lot of times, when students come into a university, they're not used to anything outside of how their parents raised them and their time at high school. And it's almost like, depending on where they grew up, they could be very, very sheltered, they could be very, very cultural, and have experienced all these different things. But that's why I just think the new student dialogue is very important because it helps people to give them a different perspective, that everyone's not just like you. You don't have to be middle class to be valued in society. You don't have to be lower class or upper class or anything else other than what you are, and that's the most important thing. And the most important thing is for you to work hard and for you to be able to do what you want to do with your life. And that's why we're at Clemson after all, is to make something of ourselves, so that once we graduate we can be upstanding members in society. And I really do think that the student dialogues really help with that and kind of give you a push to get that started.